Okay, I'm 49 years old, a new dad, a former athlete, and I train less than I did when I was 30. But I feel stronger now than I did 20 years ago. If you're over 45 and you're still trying to train like you're 25, I'm going to save you years of frustration here. And here's the problem, especially for former athletes. The game changes. It's a bit of an ego ding. Your recovery slows, your sleep gets unpredictable, your joints stop tolerating stupidity. And if you've got kids at this age, first of all, congratulations, bullseye. But the margin for error is gone. The good old days of being wrecked for 3 days because your ego lifted heavy on squats, those days are over. I understand there's a certain level of stubbornness required to become a good athlete. So I get it. But I had to change the way I train pretty much from the ground up. Mainly it required a kind of identity shift. See, when I was younger, I trained for performance and function together. And now it's still the same. It's just the function of the performance is a little bit different. See, sports and performance can be a bit of a selfish endeavor. You train for 2 hours in the morning, eat, recover, whatever you want to call it, train again in the evening. And you do this 5, 6 days a week, years at a time. So it can be either a lonely or a somewhat selfish endeavor. Now, with fatherhood, it's a totally different kettle of fish. It's amazing, but you have to completely adjust how you fit in what you need to do. So efficiency is absolutely key. See, when you have a young child in the house, the reason you train, for me especially, it's more about leadership, setting an example. It's not about competing against another person. It's more about living up to the image of the man my kids see in me. I want to be a leader and inspire them. The example of being sharp, virile, and strong under pressure, especially, and being the calm leader, living by the motto, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And there's also a bit of an ego adjustment here. You sort of realize, hey, I'm actually human. I'm not indestructible, but one thing you're not is fragile. And this tension is where the smart training lives. And I finally come to figure out what works best for me at this stage in my life. And I've kind of come up with these 4 rules that I follow. Number 1, don't move away from the joint friendly lifts, the compound lifts. I know people try to avoid these kind of lifts, especially as you get older. But the more you do them, the more it actually helps you. I feel stronger now. It helps me to be able to lift more. My joints are stronger because I'm not shying away from them, especially as you age. I used to steer away from these lifts. Now that I do them more often than I was before, I am actually stronger and I feel so much more robust in my lifts. Now, don't get me wrong. If the movement costs me more than it gives me, boom, it's gone. But I do prioritize. Controlled compound lifts. Bodyweight exercises are underrated if they're extremely controlled. Sticking with the basics of full range of motion, and a little secret, slower tempos, time under tension. And don't stop training hard, just not reckless. Because deep down, what I'm really trying to win is long-term strength and longevity. Number 2, 30 to 45 minutes, no more. Like I said, you can't train 4 to 5 hours a day anymore, 5, 6 days a week. Those days are gone. There's too much on your plate with a young one at the house. Being a father to me means leadership in all categories of life. So I only train 3 to 4 days a week. Complete efficiency, full body, and healthy heart exercises. Push, pull, hinge, squat, carry/cardio. That's it. No marathon sessions, no junk volume, no bro splits. As a leader in your family, time is your most valuable currency. So the structure of your workouts is absolutely key. Number 3, core and carry strength are non-negotiables. They must be included in your routine and regimen. And that brings us to point number 4, which to me is the key. And that comes down to programming. And what I mean by that is the balance between intensity of exercise and recovery. And that pendulum is the most difficult thing to balance on a good day, nonetheless, when you've got young ones running around the house. See, age really is just a number. And the reason why so many men deteriorate so badly and so fast in old age is for 2 reasons. Yes, they don't train enough, and they also don't recover enough when they do train. I know a lot of people that are quite older than me that still train very, very hard, but recover properly and would put people who are 20 to shame. I see it all over the place, and I know you do too if you really look. So the proof is out there that don't worry about the number. Just balance your recovery along with your training more than you used to focus on it before. Because when you were younger, you didn't have to worry about it. It's like a long night of drinking. You could sleep for 2 hours and you'll be at work for 6 a.m. the next day like nothing's happened. You're all hunky-dory. And we can't help it. There's a fear of that. Once you're over 45, especially if you have children as well, that there's going to be a sharp decline and we have to fight it at all costs. The other layer to that is I was also a high-level athlete. And if you were a high-level athlete or any kind of athlete at all, there's a bit of an identity shift here as well. And if you can embrace it and use what you've known, the discipline that you used, and instill it as an active father and as a former athlete. You don't have to pretend you're 25 like you're the old guy in the club looking for a girl. It's really just about setting an example and being a leader. So if you're a new dad, former athlete, over 45, and you feel the shift, remember, you're not washed up. Things have just changed. It's not round 4, 5, and 6 anymore. It's now around 10, 11, 12. It's not the regular season. You're now in the playoffs or the championship rounds. This is where champions are made. And I believe, and I've seen it, that we can all have a second better prime than our first prime, as long as you do it right. And I just want to send a special tip of the cap or shout out to all the new dads out there. It's a secret great club. It's the best club in the world. And I just want to send a special tip of the cap and shout out to all the new dads out there. Fatherhood is the best club in the world, no doubt. And for that, I just want to say, remember, health is wealth. And let's go get it.